BJ Hyman here. Today we're going to talk about books that are perennial favorites of mine. If somebody asks me what my favorite books are, I might stare off into space for a little bit going, but these are going to be ones that I'm going to always bring up. The first one is All the Pretty Horses by Cormac McCarthy. I am not a reader of Westerns, but this is my one exception, and it is a big one. This was my first foray into reading anything by Cormac McCarthy, and it is gorgeous. The imagery is vivid and flows beautifully. This is a simple story, but in the hands of his mastery, it might as well be the Sistine Chapel. It is just so gorgeous. He writes in an unconventional way that he kind of throws out common and usual punctuation, which can make it a little bit challenging to read, but it's so worth it. Brad Pitt reads it to perfection in the audio version. So if you're a little afraid of the challenge, let Brad do the work for you. You'll not be sorry. The second book on my list is The Lovely Bones by Alice Sebold. It's about a 14-year-old girl who is murdered and her body is never found. The narrator is actually the spirit of the girl, and she goes on to watch her family completely collapse from her disappearance. She also has to watch the man who murdered her live a life that she's not going to get to as he hides his tracks. While the subject matter is very somber, there is a lot of joy and humor and love and beauty amid the sorrow. And the way that the girl finds peace in the end is such a beautiful surprise that it's a book that's just not to be missed. The next book that I'm going to talk about is A Separate Peace by John Knowles. This one is on a lot of high school lists and has been for years for a very good reason. It is one of the most elegant, beautiful pieces of American literature that there has ever been written. It focuses on two boys at a prep school during World War II and their unlikely friendship. What happens between these two boys is, it seems like a small thing at the time, but it becomes something that is as huge and dramatic and devastating as a hurricane. My last book that I'm going to talk about is Love is a Mixtape by Rob Sheffield. This book is an autobiography set to music. It covers 7 years of the author's life where he falls in love and gets married, and then his wife tragically dies. Every single one of his memories are connected to a song. He uses his favorite mixtapes, which for those of you who are younger and don't know, mixtapes were playlists that were actually recorded to cassette. He uses those songs to express what happened, how he felt, and how he survived the best and the worst of his life. While it sounds depressing, it is a beautiful love story and is also a story of finding love after loss. He doesn't just leave you in his grief, he also carries you through to the beautiful dawn that happens after his darkness. As a reader and a music lover, I highly recommend you giving this book a try. As always, thank you for watching, and you can find my books on Amazon. Email me at bjhyman2112@gmail.com. Until next time, happy reading.